What is up, guys? Just kidding, that's not my intro. This is Ryu Matrix, and I will be breaking down this sentimental original track titled Blue World, explaining my processes behind the decisions made here. So this is mainly a request from the man, JoshhMarshh himself. He makes Mario remixes, Mario-inspired original music, and other instrumental tracks such as this. So you should go check out his music after watching this video. Now, I've never made a video like this before, so hopefully the approaches I take work out in the end. That being said, let's see how this video goes. Oh, whoops, that's the Gaming Master Guys' intro. So yeah, Blue World.
6 words! Let's go Blue!
So I started making this track back in April as a side project for me to work on during these rough quarantine times. Generally, I'm quite a synthesizer fan. The way they sound in DTM always please my ear, and they're also easier for me to work with than Logic's stock acoustic samples. So if you love to listen to a certain genre of music, you'll never run out of them once you learn how to make them. I typically have ideas for the melody, usually the chorus, already stored somewhere in my phone before I actually start composing it. I think this is a method that many composers out there use. But in this track, I think I came up with everything on the spot. So I started with laying out the melody for the entire piece, which is what I do first. Add the melody, do simple patterns and long notes, such as this, and yeah, more eighth notes. I figured the complexity of the 16th notes or smaller would take away from the emotions of the track. I also tend to have the melody be covered by various sounds for variety. The intro began with a warm sound. In the verse, I used a plucky sound with delays happening to the left and right. I got the piano coming in when everything else dials back. The supersaw contributes to the chorus in which I tried to belt out my emotions. And the outro falls back down, going back to the plucks. I have a bad habit of resorting to this supersaw lead. It sounds amazing! But tracks can get pretty stale if the same sounds are used again and again. After getting the melody down, I mapped out the chord progressions. I'm not very great at coming up with chord progressions. I tend to escape to the anime chord progression. 4, 5, 3, 6, or some variation of it, which seems to fit with a lot of melodies. I've recently started mapping out my chord progression on a track like this, no instrument loaded, but using MIDI regions to display the names of the chords. It helps me remember what I'm doing. Now I'm not stellar at writing out complex chords, which is what I tried in the intro here. See, we got a G major 9, A9, B minor 13, A9. And I figured complex chords would not work out in the chorus here, since having so many choral notes would make the overall track sound muddy. For the types of sound I use for the chords, since I also escape with a supersaw. Oh gosh, this is such a bad habit. But unlike the lead synth for the chords, I unleash the sidechain. I typically use Kickstart now for my sidechaining, but since this track was made before I got Kickstart, I just did the compressor thing instead. For the bass line, I layer it with my desired bass sound, which is some synth preset, and also a sub bass. Yeah, just a simple sine wave. I don't think I can hear it on these headphones. For electronic music, I tend to take the easy route by having the bass play off beats and playing the roots of the chords. For percussion, I tend to work on them whenever I'm having trouble with one of the other melodic parts. I get lazy and repeat the same pattern again, except for some fills. I don't carry a very broad collection of free drum samples. The good ones out there cost money, so you might be hearing the same samples being used again and again. Now, for all of the decorations, countermelodies, sound effects, and such, I guess I'll talk about them from the beginning and working my way to the end. So yeah, these downlifter samples, I need more of them in my collection. I'm running low on them. The idea to include the sample of ocean waves playing at the start was literally ripped off of Shiny World by Tag. Ooh, whooshes are fun to make. So it just involves holding out some white noise from whatever synth you got, automating up a low-pass filter. Oh no, Logic's update messed with my automation. I like the soft glissando-like sounds I did here. I put short notes, give it a long release, cut out the high frequencies, and as a result you get these. And in general, I do what many other people do of adding sounds of different frequency ranges and lengths to help fill out the frequency spectrum and time respectively. Ho, this chorus. So the idea behind this was how much can I add to it to make it sound full. So basically I went and beefed it up with whatever melodic lines I could come up with. So it's some combination of layers for the melody, block chords or power chords. Oh, that's sidechain. Some long notes being held. Beautiful piano chords. A counter melody. Some other counter melody that only plays occasionally. And an arpeggiated chord. And to which they all end up like this. Yeah, this chorus may have been a situation where beefing up one section makes it stand out awkwardly compared to the other sections. And in the outro I had some subtle rain sample. I'm not sure if it actually helped in this section. I can also talk about my mixing process for a bit. I'm not stellar at mixing, partially because I haven't done a whole lot of audio ear training. What I do for EQ is basically at least just cutting out whatever low frequencies I don't need and doing some occasional peaks or troughs to help shape the tone color or to help the track stand out more in the mix. Compression is difficult for me. I have a hard time hearing the effect unless I take its parameters to the extreme. Automation helps add variety throughout the track. I do my filter automation on a separate EQ so that I do not mess up the EQ I already have. I use the method of putting my delays and reverb on aux sends, basically to save processing power and help the tracks feel like they're in the same acoustical space. For panning, I use the rules I've been told of putting the melody, bass line, snare drum, and kick drum in the middle, and any other less important parts panned to the left or right or stereo widening them. I guess the reason for that is so that the main focal points of the mix are in the center. For mastering, I sometimes can't tell if the parameters I adjust actually affect the mix. I need to use reference tracks more often to ensure I'm making the right choices. So, thank you for watching my breakdown of Blue World. If I forgot any information, feel free to ask about them. Hey Josh, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was all for you. If you want to listen to the finished track, you can find the link to it at the end of this video if I manage to get the end card to work. If you want more of these types of music tutorial or breakdown videos, feel free to let me know in the comments or in Discord. Thank you for watching and... oh, whoops, that's the Gaming Master Guys' outro theme as well. What the heck am I doing?